I made it. Hey, y'all, I made it. I've actually been here, and it's a little funny. I got in here in my office and I was like, oh, I've got 4 minutes to spare. Bailey started crying because the light wasn't on in my bedroom, so I turned it on. Still had 3 minutes. So I see you guys starting to light up the chat. I saw Jametta and Action VJ and Wesley. And then I go to hit the button to go live, and it does nothing. My computer completely froze. And I was like, oh, so we're not going to do anything. And then I tried to force quit. It didn't work. And so I was like, well, my only other option is to go from my phone. So I am here. Hilarious, hilarious. But happy Thursday. Hope you are doing well and enjoying the last few weeks of summer. I am Krishan Wright. For those of you who do not know me, I'm the founder of blaxitglobal, the host of the blaxitglobal podcast. And if you're a Black person looking to move abroad, I am your girl. Hey, 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 hey. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, first in the chat was Jametta. Yes, followed by Action BJ. How y'all doing? How you doing? Hey, Wesley, how are you? Loretta's in the house. Tanya, hey, hey, hey. Hey, Venus Kirby, how are you? Yes, 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 yes. Good to see you all. So today, as you all know, I've been quite busy because we have the 3-week Nomad Noir cohort is winding down. So tomorrow is their last full day. We have our goodbye dinner, and then they will be off flying back to America. And then we will be welcoming, say that 10 times fast, our 1-week cohort. So this entire month, I've been the hostess with the mostest, helping people who are scouting Portugal. So today we were in Cascais, and there was a lovely, didn't get to see it in its full grandeur, but there was a festa that was kicking off today in Cascais, Festa do Mar, and I think it started at 8 or 9, which is why I couldn't go because I needed to be here. But it goes on till September 1st. So if you're in Portugal and you're looking for something to do, check out Festa do Mar. And so we got to listen to a little bit of the music while they were setting up, but it looked really cool. They had an awesome stage. Hey, Shanora, how you doing? Ifree, how are you? Hey, hey, hey. Hey, how you doing? So, yeah, lots to talk about today. Like I said, Nomad Noir is, at least this cohort, is winding down. And then the end of the month, Nomad Noir is done. 2024, I should say, not forever. So for those of you who are interested in moving to Portugal, do get on the wait list because it's going to be very important. Because I will drop the link for the registration to those on the waiting list first before I announce it publicly. Okay? Because people that have been on the wait list have been waiting for a while. They want to secure their spot for 2025. And so those people will get a heads up before they go live. That announcement of the go live, right, for the public will be beginning of September. Let's just say that. Let's just say beginning of September. Hey, 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 Kimmy, how you doing? Hey, hey, hey. Ty's in the house, how you doing? Summer is almost over. It is, and I'm so glad your Blackset is getting closer. Yes, 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 yes. This summer flew by. I mean, I think it was one of the fastest summers of my life. Certainly the fastest year, because in less than 2 weeks, I think, Yeah, I think it's less than 2 weeks. I'll be in Portugal a whole year. So of course we're gonna have like to celebrate my 1 year anniversary, but but wait. So yeah, this summer went by really fast. Between our meetup, we had over 100 people for the blaxitglobal, our Black Utopia meetup, and then my birthday yacht party, Shaka Khan. There was a lot of stuff going on, right? I was in these streets. And then I've really been in these streets with the Nomad Noir cohort because I'm literally outside of my house every day. And then just booked my vacation, but more on that later. So yeah, I'm really excited for today's conversation. But keeping on the topic of moving abroad and moving to Portugal more specifically, the tickets are on sale for the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit, y'all. Yay, yay, yay. Myself and our Black Utopia are once again combining forces to co-host the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit. So we will have the latest and greatest on immigrating to Portugal, real estate. We will talk taxes. We will talk healthcare, right? And you will hear firsthand from Black expats that are living all across Portugal. So if you are interested in moving to Portugal, if you've been thinking about it, if you think this might be for you, this is the time to get your ticket. Why? Because we are in early bird. And so early bird tickets, right? Early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the most affordable ticket price. Because after August 31st, this ticket price, you're not going to see it again. It's going to go whoop. So don't sit on the fence. It's not going to magically go back down. No. This is like your friends and family discount. Yes, yes. It is a continuous celebration. If you knew me in the before, you'd be like, who is this woman? Which is kind of like what my kids be thinking all the time. I don't know. But yeah, so the other thing I want to say too is I'm going to be dropping, you're right, tonight's topic is like the digital tools that have helped me during this like nearing year abroad. And so because of that, I was like, you know what? We got to talk all the stuff and I want to drop links. So it's going to be like my hands is going to be moving and I'm going to be answering questions because I see Loretta had a question. Hey, our friends, the Howard Worldview. Hey, friends. Hey. How are you? Long time no see. So without further ado, let me make sure I because I made myself like some notes of things not to forget. Okay, so the top 10, I think it's like in an order, I'm pretty sure. But of course, knowing me, I couldn't keep myself to 10. There's a bonus and there's a special announcement. So in order to get all that, you got to stay to the end because I know you want to know all the things, right? Hey, Malcolm, boy night. All right, so things that have helped me in my move abroad and things that I know will help you in your move abroad. And then when I go through the list, if there's anything that you think that should be on this list, please help me help you. Yay. All right. Number one, first and foremost, the one I use all of the time, WhatsApp. Now, I know WhatsApp is owned by Meta, aka Facebook, right? However, it is an awesome tool. It really is. Because, especially if you're abroad. Why? Because one, when you're abroad, I can communicate with my relatives back home and people all over the world through my trusted app. All I need is Wi-Fi and I'm good, right? Doesn't matter what country, it's encrypted. I can, converse with my kids. I can, video chat with them. I can video chat with my mom. I conduct business, because what you'll find is when you're abroad, most businesses will have their WhatsApp number posted, and that in even if they don't have a website, they have WhatsApp. So you might go to an Instagram page and you're like, okay, what's up with this business? Like, where's their website? Friends, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is what's up. And so I use it every day, like I mentioned. I know everyone here, that's abroad. And no matter what country I've been in, it is essential. So I'm going to drop some links. Like I said, I promised I was going to drop some links. So for those of you who may not have WhatsApp, what you waiting for? Because it comes in handy. And I use that, like I said, to communicate. I'll also get like a local SIM card, usually, that helps me when, well, now I have Vodafone in Europe, which covers pretty much the entire EU. So I don't actually need to do anything special to talk to someone in another country, as long as they're in the European Union. Like, I had a call a few minutes ago in the UK, didn't have to worry about that. However, when I'm conversing, especially as the host of the blaxitglobal podcast, I talk to people all over the world. And so I don't have to worry about surprise bills. Like I said, the encryption's there. It is definitely a good thing to communicate with. So that's one of my all-time faves. Number 2, look, I live in Portugal. I am learning Portuguese. Eu aprendendo português. So because I'm learning Portuguese, Mama needs her Google Translate. And Google Translate recently added European Portuguese. Before, let's say like a month or so ago, it was only Brazilian Portuguese that was available on Google Translate, which meant it wasn't 100%. I mean, none of them really are 100%, but it let's just keep it simple. It didn't have 100% accuracy, because Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese have some distinct differences. Better illustration. That's like me talking to someone from the UK and American English. Different. Maybe another illustration, somebody who's in Ireland, right? They speak English, but the dialects, the words are going to be different. Same in New Zealand. I remember I was pulling in one of my Airbnbs that I stayed at, and the gentleman was trying to help me get my luggage. And he said, oh, where's your luggage? I was like, oh, in the trunk. And he's like, he was Maori. And I said, yeah, it's in the trunk. And he's like, trunk? I was like, yeah. And I pointed to the car, trunk. He's like, that's not the trunk. I was like, what? He says, the boot. What do you mean the boot? Right? I'm thinking boot is boot on my shoe, right? From my shoe, my foot. No. He says, oh, you have your luggage, you chuck it in the boot. So, like I said, European Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, different. So now Google Translate has added European Portuguese. The only difference is with that one in terms of functionality is that you can't do like a screenshot yet and then translate. That's the only feature that they don't have, but if you put text in, it translates. I'm assuming that they're working on it, but there are differences there. So I wanted to make you aware of that. Let me just toggle. Actually, VJ's laughing at me. I got jokes. All right. So, like I said, I got my links. So, for those of you, another one I would say too for the Translate that's really useful, in addition to Google Translate, I just prefer Google Translate, is DeepL. So DeepL is another one that you can use. But again, what you want to do, particularly for those of you who are interested in Portugal. This list that I'm going through is not just for people that are moving to Portugal. It just so happens that I live in Portugal, but this is applicable wherever you might want to live in the world. Okay. So I'm going to drop the link. Aw, thank you, Wesley. Yay. Yes. Good things are on the horizons. And yeah, let me know how many days or weeks are you from your big Blaxit. Yay! Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Gwendolyn's in the chat. How you doing? All right, so that was number 3. Or number 2. Number 3. If you are living in one country and your money is in another country, which most people are, right? If you're living in one country, right, you've moved from your home country to another country, sometimes, I shouldn't say all the time, sometimes you're changing currencies. Like if you're in the European Union, most often, most cases, you're not, right? But if you're moving from America to any part of Asia, parts of Africa, right? European Union, currencies change, right? So you are going to need to know about that. And so I recommend XE currency. Me and XE, we like this because I get alerts every day. So I like it, and I probably should have pulled it up. Maybe I can. Let's see if the internet gods are going to cooperate with me, because I seem to have pissed them off a little bit, made them a little perturbed before I went live when my button didn't work. But let's see if it'll let me open it up. All right, so I wanted to show you. Let's see. You should be able to see this. Let me see what you see. No. Oh yeah, you can. Okay. So this is great. This tool is great because you can see, you do your conversions, and this will be what like the banks pay when they convert. Obviously, because you are going to pay like a little bit more because the bank has to make some money, right, on the spread. But you can, use to see what they call the mid-market rate is. And then you can compare what that conversion rate is to whatever financial institution that you, or wire service that you're going to use to transfer that money. We'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. But just as a rule of thumb, this is what you want to do. You can pick any currency. So you can do USD, British pound, they've got them all, right? Go down the list, right? When I was in Indonesia, I used it all the time because I was like, oh, they said, whatever it was. I was trying to go from the airport to, right, so they have the Indonesian rupiah. So I was trying to do, let me see, it was, okay, so I'm just converting because I don't remember what the exact number was. Let's see if I didn't break anything. Okay. So all these pop-ups. But anyway, it was 2.5 hours from the airport to Ubud, right? So I said, oh, how much is it going to be? And they were like, oh, I think it was about that, like 400,000 rupiah. And I was like, ooh, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Till I did the conversion, and it was $26 US dollars for a 2.5 hour ride in a taxi that I got at the airport, not pre-booked, right? I was like, what? So mama was like, ballin' in Indonesia, okay? But one of the other features that I like about XE currency is that you can do charts. So, as someone who occasionally trades, you can look at charts and look at currency fluctuations, and then you can also set alerts. So, if you wanted to look for, what I do is I get a daily alert in my email at the beginning of the day that tells me what the currency is. So the rate in which I can exchange money from, in my case, USD to euro. Right now it's lower. So today I think it was at 89. Ooh, pray that we come back to 90, maybe 91. But what that means is, like, for every euro, it would be worth 89 cents USD. So, little low. So basically, right now the euro is stronger than the dollar, but XE currency is a great tool. So wanted to share that with you. And I think I did. Did I do? No, I didn't do. I didn't do your links. I didn't do your links. So I'm gonna pop your link up in here, so we can have that. Hey, Patricia's in the house. We have a channel member. Hey. Okay, I just put XE currency. And hey, Patricia's in the house. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And Nichelle said, yes, XE app every day. Every day. I sign up and get alerts. I tell people in Blaxit Global Passport, this is something that you need. Oh, yes, I see your comment, Catherine. I'm going to put it in the chat now. It's DEEPL. Deeple. Okay, so back on my list. I'm flying through these. Okay. All right. Another one, Wise, formerly known as TransferWise. Okay, so why is Wise important? Because I am also a traveler, right? I live abroad, but I travel. I travel to the US, I travel to other countries. I have my vacation, about to book my ticket tomorrow morning. I don't like booking tickets when I'm tired. So tomorrow morning. But yes, I'm about to book my vacazione. Although, right, I'm in Portugal, so it should be férias, Ferias, férias. I think that's how you pronounce it. In any case, I'm about to be up out of here. But I'm also a traveler. So what I like to do is also have multiple currency. So in my Wise account, I like to have USD, of course, Euro, because I do business in Euro, as well as USD. And I think I have that one, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and the UK pound. Just the places that I know that I kind of go to quite a bit. And so I have these buckets. And what that does is, when I go, for example, to the UK, I can just take whether it be Euro or USD and convert that into pound, and then be able to conduct business and pull from the money that I've already converted. Now, that doesn't stop me from using my credit card or anything like that, as long as you aren't paying those foreign transaction fees, and always reject the conversion. That's a special note. But nevertheless, I like Wise for moving money. I do it, like I said, to convert, to pay myself, to move money quickly. One time I was in a pinch. It was early in my expat journey, and I had paid a bill, and I am 5 hours ahead of East Coast time, which means it's almost 11 p.m. where I live in Portugal, and it's probably almost 6 p.m. where you are if you're on the East Coast. And I had paid a bill and I got the date wrong. And I was like, oh, and I don't know why. When I woke up that morning, I was like, I don't know, but I think I got the date wrong. And I looked, and sure enough, I did. But it was too late to cancel. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the money in the account that they were pulling from, I didn't have enough money because I thought I had set it a different way. Anyway, I had to move money quickly. So I was like, oh my gosh, if I move it from my like traditional bank account, it takes 2 to 3 days just domestically moving money from one bank account to another bank account. But I knew I had money in Wise. And so I was like, okay, I need this money to go like and be there, because remember that 5 hour time difference was to my benefit because I was 5 hours ahead. So I knew on the East Coast, it wasn't to where like the banks were open. They were going to be trying to draw this money. So I'm like, okay. So I was able to take the money in Wise and get it to my U.S. bank account. I mean, it was a U.S. bank account, to U.S. bank account within hours. And it got there within 6 hours. And the transaction posted the same day. No late fees, no nothing. But after that, me and Wise were like, ding, 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 ding. Me and Wise were like this, because when you're working with, especially in the beginning of your expat journey, but it can happen anytime, when you're working with time zones, multiple currencies, paying for things where I might be, depending on what time of day, a day ahead. Once you're abroad, you lose all concepts of time. All concept of time. I know today is Thursday. What Thursday it is, I do not know. I can't tell you, right? Because I'm here. But it is very easy to make a mistake. And so in order to avoid like transaction fees and all that other stuff, I like to keep a little bit of cash in Wise. Another benefit of Wise is currently Wise is paying interest on USD as well as Euro. So Euro, I believe, is 2.29%, which my Portuguese bank account pays no interest. None, as in zero. And on USD, I believe I think it's like either 4.89 or 5%, somewhere around there. But you're getting, a decent rate on Euro, and you're getting a good rate on USD. So I think it's worth checking out. So, like I said, you're on your expat journey. I think it's something that you always want to have in your back pocket. And so it's wise. It's wise to have Wise. All right, so I just dropped the link to Wise. If you look at that link and use it, I think it gives you something. I don't remember what. I don't pay attention. It may be some money. I think it is. Or it's like a discount on your transaction fee, something. But there you go. Hey, Jess. Oh, you just passing through tonight? Oh, or no, you're just passing through where you're traveling. Okay, I think I'm catching up. Okay. Hey, Steven's in the house, another channel member. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing? Yes, 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 yes. Like I said, learn from me. Learn from me. Learn from me on that one. Okay. So my next one is, it actually goes along with this one. It can. Charles Schwab. Okay. You want to have a card, you want to have a bank account, you want to have something that's not going to have all these crazy fees. few things that I like about Charles Schwab, and I added that to my financial bank account mix pre-flight. So it was pretty late. Not like it wasn't like I had that account for years and years and years. I added it a couple months before I moved. But what helps with Charles Schwab is you don't have those crazy fees, right? Transferring or wiring money is a flat rate. Why is this important? Because, like I said, currency fluctuates daily, actually hourly, but for our illustration, we're going to just say daily. And when you're moving larger sums of money, for example, let's say you're buying a car. One of our expat friends just bought a car recently, and I know they're in France today, but I think they bought the car in the Netherlands. And so you need large sums of money, need to wire from your home currency to another, or you're putting a down payment for a house, right? You're moving that money at present. Charles Schwab charges 15. Now, if you were doing it, for example, with Wise, they're gonna charge you like a big fee because they have to make money on the spread. Not that Charles Schwab doesn't, but they have a flat fee. What I also like about them, even though I have an account with Fidelity, is they're very upfront. They, being Charles Schwab, was very upfront with the fee. I had to go through all these screens and Fidelity. I never got an answer. I even had to call, and it was like this song and dance about what they charge. And I'm like, okay, well, if you work here and you don't know, so I like Schwab for that reason. They also, because they cater to international clientele, some of the financial institutions really had especially around 2021-ish, we're closing down accounts for people that lived abroad. So if they found out you were abroad, you changed your mailing address, that was it. They shut you down. Charles Schwab, on the other hand, they deal with a lot of international clients. I've heard cases where people had their debit card was lost or stolen, and then they were trying to figure out, like, how do I now get that to, insert country X, right? South Africa, Italy, Portugal. Charles Schwab would actually mail that card to you in whatever country that you were. You didn't have to go through this whole rigmarole and song and dance. So I like it for that reason as well. So let me grab you your link for the Schwab. Let's see where my link. Oh, before I forget. So our friends at Charles Schwab offer you. So some of these links I should also mention, even though it's at the bottom of the page, is they are affiliate links. And so I may get a small commission off of this at no cost to you. However, with Charles Schwab, depending on the net transfer, right, your net qualifying deposit, not transfer, I misspoke. Depending on the qualifying net deposit, you may receive, not me, you may receive up to $1,000. Yes, $1,000, right? So you might want that link, okay? You click on that link, it'll give you all the details. What is the qualifying deposit? Who knows? It might be $3,000. It might be $30,000. I don't know. I don't work for Charles Schwab. I'm just telling you, if it's a large enough amount, it might be worth your while. Why? Because if you're moving to a country, let's say, really any country, right? Your first year, you have a lot of startup costs, right? You have rental deposits. You might need to buy furniture, clothes, whatever, right? Pay, deposits for different things, open up accounts, have a certain amount in your bank account in order to qualify for your visa, a myriad of things. And so if you're going to be moving large sums, or at least need to have large sums in an account that you can easily access, I think Charles Schwab makes sense. And if you're going to put that sum of money there anyway, you might as well get $1,000 for it. So that's my spiel. It may mean something. It may not mean something to you. Yes. Yes. I like it. It was definitely a late add to my mix, and I'm happy because, that was the other thing. I realized I had Ally for a long time, and then I was trying to do an international wire transfer, and they didn't. And I was like, oh, I need a bank that can do that, because not all banks do, right? Some credit unions don't. Usually they don't. Credit unions don't. I know anyone in military, they have, usually use different banks, and that's not an issue. But not all banks are created equal. The Howard say the fees and exchange rates become very clear when your €1,500 rent requires a 1,667 plus fees transfer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, exchange rates fluctuate daily. So it's a good rule of thumb that if you know you need to pay rent or how much you spend down in a month, it may make better sense to move in tranches. So you say, hey, I'm going to move enough money for 3 months. And then now you're not subjected to the monthly or rather daily fluctuation. You're now, when you get down to your last month, maybe then you do another 3 months or 6 months or whatever the case is. But that's going to save you. And then obviously, if exchange rates during that time go up to a number that you're really happy with, right? Ooh, man, too bad I wasn't living in Europe when it was dollar for dollar, baby. What? Dollar for euro. Ooh, when the euro was on par with the dollar. Right? But now that's not the case. But for example, if you move it in tranches and that exchange rate tips in your favor, you don't have to wait until you're down to that whatever level that you set for yourself. You can do that. Another thing I can say for Wise, just piggybacking for 1 second, is you can set an alert in Wise that when an exchange rate hits a number, let's say I watch the exchange rates daily, but if you're not one of those people, excuse me, and you're like, oh, I only want to exchange when it's at 93, it'll just do it automatically. You just have to set it up. So again, these are all tools at your disposal to make your life easy. That's what it's all about. Anya's in the house. Hey, Anya. How are you? Okay. Let's see. Where are we now? That was number 5. Okay. Number 5, number 5, number 5. Okay. Number 5. Number 6, safety, right? Insurance. Okay. Like I said, I'm a traveler. I'm a digital nomad. I don't know. Am I a digital nomad? I'm more location independent. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. So, when you are moving about the world, Your health is important. I mean, this is a tickle, but your health is important. And most of you are tuning in from the United States, and you know how expensive it is to live in the United States. You know how expensive healthcare is in the United States. It's expensive to live in the United States. It's expensive to die in the United States. It's expensive if you're sick in the United States. The United States is expensive. You know what's not expensive or as expensive? Healthcare anywhere else in the world. They will tell you, oh, you don't want socialized medicine. They say that as if it's like a cuss word. As someone who has been enjoying the benefits of socialized medicine for the past almost a year, baby, socialize me, okay, right? However, when you travel, right, like I said, I like Southeast Asia, one of my favorite places in the world, regions, areas. I really have a lot of heart next year to go to the continent. Fingers crossed, the beginning of the year. And having insurance is going to be important. And so I like Safety Wing. Safety Wing really has a safety net to make sure that it is providing or provider of health insurance that's portable, right? Now, can you have Safety Wing and be a permanent resident living in the United States for an extended period of time? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not going to help you. You might need to have a jobby job. You might need to get on the exchange. I don't know. But if you're anywhere else in the world, private health insurance, public health insurance, Safety Wing, right? So I think it is a great resource, and I am a huge proponent and have been consistently on this platform about whenever you travel, you need to have travel health insurance. We came out of, we as in everybody on this planet, right? That was alive in 2020 through 2022, a global pandemic, and now we're hearing about mpox, because you know they got to rebrand stuff. It used to be called monkeypox, now they call it mpox. But mpox is coming back, and it has reached epidemic proportions. I think was the last official word from the WHO, the HO, the WHO, the WHO. They sound like a band. But in any event, germs be German. And so you don't want to take no chances. Get you some travel health insurance, portable health insurance. It ain't going to cost you that much. Definitely not going to cost you what it costs in America. Get you some of that. Okay. Let's see. Y'all still with me? Okay. So that was Safety Wing. I need to drop you a link. Did I not? Here we go. I was like, I had all my linky links. My linky links. Yes. It's going to be more than that. But they also know that people, so Jess was commenting that schools have closed down due to germs. And here's the deal. Because I'm a read between the lines type of gal. They know that COVID, is coming back in certain places, right? In the United States, there's some numbers that are going off the charts while they're not reporting cases and all that stuff like they did on the news a few years ago What they haven't stopped is testing wastewater, right? So they know that when people take a crap, it goes in there and they test that sample, and then they can tell, oh, we've got an increase in cases here, yada, yada, yada. And so similarly, that's going to be the case with Mpox. They're tracking Mpox, but they also know people have in the back of their mind, like, oh shit, we don't want to be in lockdown again. Especially not after these stupid employers are forcing everybody to go back to work, return to office to get on the Zoom. But the person's home and what? Anyway, so that's why I say you just got to be about your business. So they're trying to downplay it and say, oh, it's not going to be as bad as COVID. How you know? So get you some healthcare. Get you some healthcare. I just dropped the link to Safety Wing. And what I will do after the live is I'll put all of this in the description of the video because I know some people watch the replays. All right. Okay, cool. Just said y'all still rocking with me. All right. And then after I go through the list, I'll get to the questions that I haven't answered because I did see there was a couple in there. I haven't ignored you or forgotten. Okay. That was number 6, right? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Number 7. My girl. Shara Winter's expat app. So Shara was on this channel a few weeks ago, and her app, the expat app, is a wonderful resource for Black expats, aspiring expats, repats, travelers, people who are looking for jobs abroad, students, the whole bit. And so I think expat is an awesome, awesome resource for connecting with Black travelers while you're abroad, getting advice. I am on the app, so some of you probably have seen me in there. I post pretty regularly, although I haven't this month because I've been busy with the Nomad Noir crew. But definitely, if you are not already a member of the expat app, get on there. Support. It's created by a Black woman. You won't be disappointed. Yes. Come on in. The water is nice. I just dropped the link to that. All right. Okay. Excuse me. That was number 7. And Shar was a guest on the blaxitglobal podcast in season 3 or 2. I'm getting ready to start recording season 7. So the further I get from season 1, the less I can remember which season people have been on. But yeah, I released last week. Yeah. Episode 70. 70. So yes, I will be back on the mic in 2025 with new episodes. Yes. All right. So that was number 7. Number 8, which also is my one of my big announcements and reveals tonight. Yes, trusted house sitters. What? Oh my goodness. Trusted house sitters. Like I said, I'm a traveler. I love traveling. Now that I'm a resident of the European Union, baby, there's total, not including the one I'm in, right? Not including the one I'm in, 27 member countries, keep me honest, of the European Union. I intend to go to a lot of them. I have to look at all of them to see if there's one that has, stuff that might be too close to other stuff that might be popping off that may not be within my level of comfort. But I definitely plan on getting through most of the EU because it is my right. It is my right. And also, as a resident of the EU, what? It's borderless. I could go to Spain on a bus or a plane, but I could go to Spain in like a few hours. No borders. What? I saw a sign the other week. I took a picture of it and I put it in the chat for the Nomad Noir ladies in case they were interested. Madrid, yeah, Porto to Madrid, right? Porto, northern part of Portugal, to Madrid, and I think it was €2.99, not 299, €2.99, as in $3. What? I can't even get a gallon of gas. I think a gallon of gas in the U.S. is $3. I'm sure. I'm assuming. And a gallon ain't gonna get you all the way to Madrid. Let me be like, oh, you moving back to America? Hell no. Hell no. Mm-mm. Yes, Jen J said, cannot wait to visit Spain next year. Yes, it's been on my list. Now that I have my residency card, you would think that that's where I would be going. But you know, Spain's been a little special right now, acting out with tourism. And I get it. There's a lot of places that are, you know, feeling the pressure of over tourism. Portugal, I saw an article today. Spain, they've been acting out. Italy as well. Japan. I think a lot of that is people had a lot of pent up demand when they couldn't travel during the pandemic and they're just getting it all in. I get that. You only got one life, right? But at the same time, you have to, excuse me, think about the resources and the strain that you are putting on the system. And are you making it where locals can't afford to be in their own cities, right? So I saw an article today about wanting to do away with the tuk-tuks in Lisbon because of, you know, the fact that some of the buses and, you know, it creates these bottlenecks with these vehicles because they can't go at the same rate of speed. I don't know. We shall see. Jen said, $2.99 in the U.S. will get you a really nice paper bag. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Because I remember being at the grocery store, and you know they have those bags at like Trader Joe's and stuff. Well, New Jersey was where you don't have the plastic bags anymore, so you had to have like a recycle bag. And I'm thinking, oh, it's like gonna be like $1 or whatever. They wanted like $3 for them bags. Now, they don't have like, you know, single-use plastic is not something that they have here. And so sometimes I forget to bring my bag to the store. Although you can walk out the store without having your groceries in a bag. They don't like, oh, let me see your receipt like they do at like Walmart. None of that foolishness. So sometimes I walk out and I'll just have, you know, salmon, beer in my hands. Other times I'm like, let me put it in a bag. That bag might be 25 cents, 50 cents. America be trying to jack you. Patricia said, yes. Yes, always remember, yes, to be kind. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so trusted house sitters, getting back to my number 8. So my big reveal, one of my big reveals today, is I finally booked my first house sit today. on Trusted House Sitters. So I have been on Trusted House Sitters. I had a profile on there over a year because I had to renew earlier this year. But I hadn't used it. Largely, I think it was, in my mind, right? Timing. It was like, I was preparing to move abroad. And so I had, set up my profile. Thank you, Stephanie Perry. And so I had done all the things and I had set it up with the intent of using it. Now, this is me. This is not to taint anybody else's view. But when I left my apartment in New Jersey, there was a period of about 2 months where I didn't have a place to stay. So I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do some house sitting, and this way I won't really blow my budget, because I also didn't want to spend any money in the United States before I moved to Portugal. But one of the things that my own lived experience, was butting up against was I felt like maybe because of the area I lived in New Jersey, or some of the house sits that I was looking at, that it was questionable what side people were on. I'm like, where were you on January 6th? Asking for a friend. So some of those rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, that's a wrap. I don't want to do it in the United States. I'll wait till I get to Europe. And that is why I've waited. And I've also been busy. But as I started planning my September escape, I was like, oh, you know what? Some of these prices are still pretty high, because high season actually still kind of extends a little bit into September. Right now, the Portuguese, they are on vacation. I keep saying vacation like Spanish. Vacaciones would be Spanish, but they don't say that in Portuguese. It's Spanish. They're on holiday till mid-September. And so prices are still high for flights and things like that. So I was like, oh, I don't want to break the bank. And I was like, hey, let me look at my Trusted House Sitter stuff. And I found a lovely house sit. And it is not too far away from Stonehenge. So, I'm like, this is wonderful. So yes, we had our interview conversation today. It went very well. And yeah, this is a great way to get free accommodation while you travel the world. I will be caring for a cute little doggy and a rabbit. And for those of you who know me, right before we had our beautiful Bailey joined our family, I was a bunny mom for a number of years to my little baby bunny Zelda. So I have a lot of fondness for rabbits. And so I will be taking care of a rabbit and a dog for 3 days, 2.5 days, which will be great. So, see, Action VJ knows. I'm like, and it's always the ones that got the overly over the top patriotic, flags in the house and Uncle Sam memorabilia, Blue Lives Matter bumper stickers. I'm just like, I'll pass. That's okay. I'll just spend the money, which is what I did. It was worth it. Peace of mind. Can't put a price on peace of mind. Yes, I love bunnies too. I miss our dear Zelda. She crossed over the Rainbow Bridge a few years ago. But For those of you who are looking at or considering travel, baby, cheat code, trusted house sitter. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you, gotta keep your head on a swivel, especially in America. Especially in America. Okay, so that was your trusted house sitters, my trusted house sitters. I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited. And like I said, now I'm like, once you get that one, it's like, and get that review, I'm like, oh yeah, baby. Because I still have to book like my New Year's Eve plans, all that stuff, all that stuff. Okay, that was number 8. Number 9, get you a VPN, baby. What? Virtual private network. This is essential. You cannot be abroad without having a virtual private network. Why? Because scammers be scamming. Scammers be scamming. That's one of the reasons. Hang on one second. So, you want to have a virtual private network, like I said, because scammers be scamming. But it's to protect your online privacy, like I said, from scammers. But also, you may need to change your location or cloak your location. For example, some of these streaming services and things like that, they're country specific. So you may not be able to watch certain things in certain regions. You want to have a secure online connection in your home. There are a myriad of reasons why you want to have a virtual private network, but I like ExpressVPN. It's who I use. I refer it to our blaxitglobal Passport members because, like I said, you might need to conduct business. Sometimes I use it because I'm in Portugal and I've been here for a year. Now, when I do searches on Google, a lot of times the search results will give me Portugal websites or the Portugal equivalent of a website. And so that doesn't help me when I'm trying to search in English and I need a US based search. And so I'll put my VPN on and choose a city and then do my search over. So those are times in which you want to use a VPN, like I said, among other ones. But if you use ExpressVPN, you can sign up. You get 30 days free. So there's your VPN. I use ExpressVPN. Hope that helps. And just drop the link in the chat for those of you who are like, so in terms of the links and stuff that I've been dropping, might be a good rule of thumb for you to click on the link, maybe either make a folder or favorite it or something like that. Put it somewhere where, you can get to it. Like I said, I'll put them in the description of the video, so it's super handy. But just because they're live, it's a lot easier for me to do it this way. Cool. All right. Almost to number 10. But remember, I told you I had a bonus, so you have to stick around. So number 10, boop, boop, Google Fi. Google Fi. Why Google Fi? So when I moved abroad, one of the things that I didn't get to was moving my phone line, my mobile phone. So, illustration. I live in Portugal. I have 20 gigs of data on my mobile phone. I have 170 channels. I still haven't gone through all 170. I think I get to like 20 and then I get bored. And then I'm like off to doing something else. So I see all of the football games, football being soccer. I see all the football games, the Olympics. I didn't have to do no pay-per-view, no special channels, ESPN Plus, all that other nonsense. None of that stuff. It just is regular old TV. So I get 170 channels, 20 gigs, and high-speed internet, plus a landline, which I don't have, like I don't use. And I pay 56 € a month. 56. 56. Now, when I was in the US, I had Verizon wireless, and I also had Verizon home phone and cable, whatever, Fios. So altogether, I was paying 250-ish, maybe a little bit more, actually. So I had two lines in the U.S., my phone and my mom's phone, and I was paying, with a discount, about 90-ish a month for 2 gigabytes worth of data. 2, not 20, 2. Plus, I had to actually pay extra for, high-speed internet, then the channels, and all that other stuff. And now I have all of that and some, and I pay 56 €. So I didn't get a chance to, do the switcheroo for my US line before I left. So I was like, you know what? I got to get me here. I got to get Bailey here. I got to get set up. I'll deal with it when I get back to the US. And so when I went back in the spring, I did, and I moved, I ported my phone line to Google Fi. And so it's been great, particularly because I don't need the data because I live here. And also my mom doesn't use, she doesn't use that at all. So it's really easy. And I think I pay 40, 35, 40, something like that, which is fine because all I need it for, and I could go cheaper, not cheaper with Google Fi, but I'm sure there's another provider. Some people have made recommendations. I also see some in the chat. But for multi-factor authentication, right, goes back to the earlier thing about scammers be scamming. So when you're doing banking, signing into, investment accounts, things like that, really anything now lately has been doing multi-factor authentication where you either need to, take a picture or initiate the camera on your phone to a QR code that then opens up a screen, or you'll have a text code or an email code or something like that. And so, and I have the latest iPhone, so it's just a matter of toggling between my phone number in Europe and my phone number in the US. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, but I have enjoyed Google Fi. In addition to the price. Hey, Adelia's in the chat. Hey, Piggy Girl travels the world. But yeah, the scamming phone companies, it's a money game. It's a money game in the US. And so I was like, oh, first order of business. I did try Mint Mobile before I left. I was trying to move my line and my mom's line to Mint Mobile, but I am one of those nerdy types that does read the fine print, and it was an introductory rate, and I wasn't comfortable with not only what the rate was going to go to, particularly for lines that aren't used that often, or at least my line, and their service sucked. I put that SIM card in. I couldn't even get a signal, dial tone, nothing. Like the coverage was trash. And they being Mint, don't have they don't own their own network. So basically, I think they use T-Mobile's network. So I was just like, what the hell? I need somebody who like good, better, and different, however expensive it was. Verizon, when I had an issue, I was like, oh, you know what? I messed up. I went over to Mint. Can you switch me back? They were like, oh yeah, bet. Boop. I need somebody when I have an issue, I can pick up a phone. Mint, I was like, I can't even figure out how to set this thing up. I also have my mom's line. I ordered it. They didn't get the piece in time. I was like, okay, how do we coordinate this? Wait, there's no phone numbers? But you a phone company? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I like customer service. I like attention to my issues. They did not do that. So when you pay next to nothing, you gonna get next to nothing. So for me, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So that was my number 10. That was my number 10. And then I dropped the link. So if you try Google Fi, you're gonna get a $60 credit when you join Google Fi Wireless through that code. Okay, and last but certainly not least, and then I also, like I said, stick around because I need to tell you about next week's guest. And the topic is spicy. All right, last but not least, Black's Global Passport. Yes, digital tool that you need to have for your move abroad. Because guess what? I'm in there too, because it's mine. But Black's Global Passport is our online private community for Black travelers, Black expats, aspiring expats, repats, you name it. As a member of Black's Global Passport, you have a safe and welcoming community that is off social media. I post in there daily, as well as some of the people that are in the chat tonight, Passport members. We have a monthly accountability group that I facilitate. It's more of, I would put it in the realm of like group coaching. And so what we do is we go round robin, figure out where we are or share where you are in your respective journey, any successes, any pain points, and then you set your goal for the next month that you keep track of. And it's a way to interact with people who can relate to where you are in your journey. You know, when you choose this life to live abroad, oftentimes you're the first in your family or in your peer set to do something like this. And it can be very challenging to manage your own expectations as well as oftentimes the uninvited expectations or opinions of others. And so what we do in Passport is it's like to fortify you and shore you up so that you have the air and to give your wings flight. So you can join Black's Global Passport and come on in, test the waters, and see if it works for you. I just dropped, let's see, let me give you the right link. I was about to put WhatsApp in there again. WhatsApp, you already got you a plug. Okay, so I just put the link in there. And you can join Black's Global Passport for 2 weeks. No credit card is required. Kick the tires, test it out, and then see if you like it. If you like it, stay, subscribe. If you don't like it, that's okay. One thing I don't like though, don't keep coming like in and out. Like, you know, come in, stay, or leave and come back. But don't be like in and out, in and out, in and out. Commit. Because I see you. I see everybody. I see everybody when they join. I see everybody when they don't. All right. So that was it with the list. I'll do a quick recap and then I'll get to the questions. And then I'll tell you, I'll do a quick recap. And then I'll get to the questions and then I'll tell you about next week's guest and the spicy topic. So, top 10 must have digital tools, right? We're going to go down the list. WhatsApp, Google Translate, XE Currency, Wise, formerly TransferWise, Charles Schwab, Safety Wing for insurance, the expat app, Trusted House Sitters, yay! I just booked my first sit today. ExpressVPN, you definitely want to have that. Google Fi and blaxitglobal password friends, yay! That's your list. That's your list. That was your bonus. Number 11 was your bonus. Hey, girl, be gone, Phyllis A. It's okay. That's all right. I understand. I'm glad you're here now. Glad you are here now. All right. So that was the recap of the list. Let me go back and hit these questions. I know I starred some of them. Let me go. Let's see. There we go. I was like, my scroll is misbehaving. Everything. Okay. I think, yes, I think I answered that one, VJ. The question was for anybody, do you use Wise or just direct transfer from US bank to a Portugal bank? I do actually both. So it depends on what I'm trying to do and when I might need that money. But Wise, lickety split. I mean, hours. Traditional banks usually take longer. But if you're going to get your money there fast, you're going to pay a fee. But like I said, sometimes when you lose all concept of time, you want to get your money there fast. So it helps. Let's see. Hey. Okay, Kim. So you can safely park money in Wise and move it around to connected accounts. Yes. Now, I will put an asterisk with this. Wise is an online transfer service. And so when you have your money in these buckets, USD, in my case, USD, Euro, Australian dollar, New Zealand, and the pound, right? This money is being held at an institution in your name, right? ABC Bank, whatever the case is. So what you don't have full visibility to is ensuring that these banks or institutions are FDIC insured. It is not, it being Wise itself is not a bank. So it doesn't have the same protections. And I might be misspeaking, so anybody from Wise, don't come at me. But it's not FDIC insured. So would I leave $100,000 in it? Absolutely not. But if I'm parking, $5,000 to move, get a little interest in and move it, yeah, a couple $100, sure, right? Or if I needed to move, one large sum to then transfer to my Portuguese account to do something, yeah, right? It's just passing through. But yes, typically yes. Michelle said, I've heard that you need a physical address for Schwab Fidelity once you move overseas, not just the U.S. Post Office. Now, I have a residence in Florida, and so nothing has changed for me. I know some people use virtual mailboxes. Um, I personally, at this juncture, am not using one, but I know some people who have used it successfully. Um, or they've also, in some instances, done a U a UPS box because it's not a USPS post office box, but they've done a UPS box. But I say for anybody who's moving abroad, if you can avoid it, I wouldn't change your mailing address. Get your mail scanned. That's the U.S. Postal Service does that for free. They also have other mail services that will serve as I think this is what Jess is saying, the virtual mailbox. So you can get your mail basically forwarded to this address, and then they scan it, and then you see, you know, all the mail pieces, and you can decide what is discarded, what might need to be kept, what might need to be then forwarded to you in whatever country or location that you're in. There's definitely some options there. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Aw, from Argentina. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in. That is awesome. You're scouting Argentina. Wow. How's it going? How's it going? I have not gotten there yet. Yes. Let's see. I'm scanning. All right, let me go back this way. Okay. Loretta asked, how do you communicate with people in the U.S. who are not online or have smartphones? I'm moving to Jamaica. Ooh, great question. So actually, I was messaging with my aunt because I was talking to her about Thanksgiving the other day, and she's not on WhatsApp. So what I do is I toggle onto my U.S. line, and then I'm able to receive texts and text her as if I was still in the U.S. And then um, I get that to her. I think she technically has a smartphone. Um, Most people do. I know not all, especially seniors. But that's what I do. Or you can do email. They have smartphones and email in Jamaica. Yeah. But what I did, because my mom is definitely not part of the digital age, is I made it like my point before I left to, she doesn't have the latest smartphone. I think her phone technically is like 6 or 7 years old. But it's a model that she felt comfortable with. Like she knows, oh, press this button, do this, whatever. And so I installed WhatsApp. I showed her because now this being WhatsApp's interface is different than the interface of her phone, to show her, hey, see, I'm your contact in here. I put myself in there. So you open the app, it opens up, you press my little face, and that's how you call, or if I call. So we just did practice calls. So particularly when you have a person that is of age or may have different mobility or other impairments, I think it's just a good, rule of thumb to just help them transition, because it makes it a little bit easier. Otherwise, you would have to use, if you didn't have those services, yeah, it makes it pretty hard. Um, yeah, it makes it pretty hard. You would just need to have like an international, be able to make international calls. Depending on where you are, I don't know how that would work in Jamaica. I would imagine it would be pretty expensive, but it might be more affordable to get them a low cost smartphone or a lower cost smartphone. I hope that helps. Action VJ, have you heard of Tello? Tello. They're advertising to expats and included SMS text from US to other countries. I've heard of them. I've not tried them though. I have not. I don't know if anybody who's here in Passport, particularly the ones that are in Portugal now, if they've used Tello. I thought most of us, some people are on T-Mobile, some people I think were on AT&T, others are in the process of switching, but I'm happy with Google Fi. But yes, I've heard of Tello. Thanks for your question. Jess, we need some affordable airfare. Yes, yes, yes. Airfare is very affordable. Like my trip to the UK, I was just looking at airfare because I wouldn't be flying into Heathrow. And it was $260. Now that's high because we're still in high season. So I looked low season, off season to see what that same ticket would be, and it was like 71, which is about what I paid. Like I remember last December when I went to Italy, it was 70. I think I paid 76 euro round trip. Because these countries are like 2 hours, right? It's 2 hours. I think my flight to the UK is like 2 hours and 35 minutes. It's 2 hours to get to France. It's 2 hours to get to Italy, right? I think it's an hour and a half for me to get to Morocco. Yeah. Now, coincidentally, I bought my plane ticket for Thanksgiving because I'm going back to the U.S. And it's Jess's other comment. So I'm going to the U.S. to see my family for Thanksgiving, and my daughter is also joining me. And so she'll be flying from school. I'll be flying from here. Why were those tickets the same price? Why were those tickets the same price? I am 3,500 miles away. I have to cross an ocean, a large body of water, in order to get there. In 2 planes. Why? Why is it the same price for someone who is traveling on the same coast, on the same seaboard, in the same country, on the same time zone? And we arrive within 30 minutes of each other. Make that make sense, America? Make it make sense, please. Shit show. Yes, NordVPN is good as well. Absolutely. I haven't used it, but because I've always used Express. But yeah, Nord. Yes, just said hit the like button, baby. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. Let's see what else. Yes, Picky Girl always has great tips. I love it. She sure does. Trying to catch and see. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to give the people something useful. I think I got all of them. All right. Okay. Hey. Crazy. Hey, Rick. Oh, yeah, my mom had a flip phone. Yeah, she did. And they're partial to their flip phones, And I get it. I get it. Because it drives me crazy. It was a source of tension. And then I had to take a step back. Because I'm like, okay, my mom is pushing 83. And in her lifetime, right, she has gone from like picking cotton, walking to school, right, having a phone, right, TV didn't exist and TV was black and white, the radio, right, VCR, beta, computers, 8 tracks, DVDs, CDs, mobile phones, smartphones. I'm like, y'all have had a lot thrown at you. So I get it. I get it. So I give them our what do they call it? Octogenarians a little bit of extra grace. They've had a lot thrown at them. So that's how I have to like self-talk when I want to be like, I don't understand how you don't understand how to use this phone. Why is the phone smarter than you? I don't understand. Well, so you get it. You get it. You get it. You get it. All right. Okay. So let's talk about next week's guest. So next week, and I'm telling you now, because this is forewarning, fair warning. Next week, we are going to have sexy time. Yes, I said it. Sexy time. So for those of you who, the stork came and brought you here, hey, that might not be next week. You might not want to tune in, right? If the stork brought you to your parents or, immaculate conception, you might not want to tune in next week. No, it's not Tawana. It is somebody that y'all are quite fond of. She was a guest on the blaxitglobal podcast in season 5 or 6. Let's go with one of those numbers. 5, yes, because we just wrapped 6. So season 5. It is not Tawana. No, it is the hot goddess. Yes, Natalie. So Natalie was also on a guest on, like I said, the blaxitglobal podcast. She was on this channel on our panel, Moving Abroad Over 50. And she was also a speaker at the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit last year. So we will be talking about a question that I get from time to time, dating abroad. And it's going to be a grown folk conversation, yes. So if you are squeamish about those type of conversations, body parts, no euphemisms. Natalie is awesome, right? Yes. If you don't like hearing words, because last week, although I didn't get any negative comments, surprisingly, about the penis pops. So if you don't tune in, because it's gonna be riggedy raw. She said, "Can we talk about circumcision?" I said, "Of course we can." Of course we can. So, like I said, we're going to have sexy time next week. I love her too. She is an awesome writer. Definitely check out her blog if you have not already. It's spicy, it's saucy, and I am here for it. What? And I hope you are too. Because I'm not trying to dissuade you from tuning in. My goodness, no. But I want you to tune in if you want to listen about dating abroad. What is it like? Sexing abroad when you are solo and 60, or in my case, 50, right? I want to know because I got questions. I have not done these things. I got questions, okay? And I said, who better to answer them? Because y'all asked me and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I had to go to the source. I said, who's going to know? I know who's going to know. Natalie's going to know. So, yes, order the dessert because it's 12:08 my time a.m. So, slurring my words. Order the dessert. Get the bottle of wine. Natalie and I already said we getting the wine. I'll make sure my belly is full. So get the dessert. I got questions. I'll put it in the chat for you. Let me pull it up. So, yes, we will be talking to the hot goddess herself. She will be joining you, and she lives here in Portugal. And so it's going to be hot with the hot goddess. But if you are on the fence, if you want to know how spicy this conversation is going to get, I'd say read the blog. I would say read the blog. Do yourself a favor, read the blog. Yeah. Teddy P, all the things, right? Leave the door open, put a candle on, dim the lights. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do mood lighting. Next week, have my wine down. Yeah, we'll have a wine down. Yeah, we got questions. Cause look, it is interesting in these international streets. And Natalie's got a lot to say on the topic. And she is definitely a fan favorite. And so I was like, oh, yeah. So when she said yes, I was like, all right, I think the people are ready. I think the people are ready for this conversation. I know I'm ready for this conversation. Who knows? Maybe I'll even get a date out of this conversation. I don't know. Who's watching? All right, y'all. So this was a lot of fun. I hope the list is useful to you in your move abroad endeavors, your Blaxit. Definitely come on in to Passport at the end of this month. Beginning of next month, I will share the date for our accountability check-in for September. Can't believe it's September, around the corner. Both my kids have their birthdays next month. My son is turning 24 and my daughter is turning 19. Amazing. So I can't believe September is around the corner. So yes, definitely we'll be posting that in the group, probably the beginning of the month. I will be tomorrow night saying farewell to our first cohort of Nomad Noir. Definitely, if you're interested in being a part of it in 2025, get on the wait list. I'll be announcing the release of the dates for 2025, beginning of September. Those on the wait list will get it first. But if you are curious and interested in moving abroad, I have partnered once again with Our Black Utopia to present the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit. It will take place November 1st to the 3rd. We will be here in our respective homes talking to y'all about moving to Portugal. So, yes, you definitely want to make sure you get your ticket. Early bird tickets are on sale now only till August 31st. On September 1st, the prices go up. So if you want to pay more, that's okay. We'll take your money. We have no problem. But if you want to get them early bird tickets, Better get on it. You're running out of time. Where I live, it's already August 23rd. So be well, be safe. I will see you next week for our spicy conversation with Miss Natalie. And so take care. Be well.